Record this, DA. You know how to proceed. My death will be a light upon ubiquitous darkness.
What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for a full breakdown of all campaign rewards inside of Black Ops 7. Definitely stay tuned. I just ended my stream that lasted around, I want to say 7.5 hours. We managed to beat the full co-op campaign in, I want to say roughly 3.5. I was running at 2p. Don't forget, you can also pop double XP tokens when you jump into the campaign, so you can burn a good, I want to say 30 or 40 levels, depending on how long you take to actually finish it. But if you want to see a full walkthrough of the entire co-op campaign, I did post the entire playlist here on my channel, which is also going to be linked down below in this video's description. But as a reminder, folks, you can save 12% off any order at Control Freak and upwards of $50 off any order at AIM Controllers when you go ahead and use code DYNAMITE. There's brand new Black Ops 7 themed products such as the Performance Thumbsticks, a collector's box, an in-game weapon charm, as well as the official Guild DualSense controller. Shout out to Deathmonk for also sending what appears to be a new set of Twitch drops, which as of recording this have yet to be announced, but you can already earn when watching live streams inside of the Black Ops 7 Twitch category. You guys know whenever I stream, I also end up doing a multi-stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, even TikTok. So once we get a full inspect of what these Twitch drops do look like, I'll be sure to follow up on these in a separate video. But first and certainly foremost, upon finishing the 11 linear missions of the co-op campaign, you end up unlocking Endgame. Real quick as a reminder, there isn't a set difficulty for either of the 11 missions. The difficulty kind of scales based on how many players are on your squad. You can choose to play solo or matchmake with other players or bring in some of your friends. But once you beat all 11 missions, we'll go through the rewards for each one of them in a sec, you do unlock the Endgame open world expansion. You can click Endgame, found at the very left of the mission select screen, and then once you get past your loadout, operators, and abilities, you can then choose to queue in with the players that you were with, or you can matchmake publicly with other people out there who've also beat the campaign. Now, something really cool is that if you didn't beat the campaign, you can actually join somebody who did and play Endgame straight away. Regardless if you beat the campaign, your operator rating will still be 0 when you spawn into your first match. However, there are some bonuses for having gone ahead and beat the 11 linear missions, such as the abilities you can actually spawn in with. So you get access to some of them right when joining a match of Endgame, but if you beat the 11 linear missions, you have access to every single major and minor ability off rip. However, if you don't beat the campaign, there'll be some challenges that you can go ahead and complete instead. But shout out to Fajardi for sending me this video. He didn't beat the campaign, but did join my endgame lobby where he was able to see the following challenges. So as you guys can see, it gave him access to active camo, crash cart, war machine, and drone pod off rip, but the other major abilities do require some objectives. So for the ballistic shell, he has to eliminate 30 elite enemies in endgame alone. That's again, if he doesn't beat the containment mission. For the hand cannon, let's see what that challenge is. That's of course a very helpful streak to have on you. If you don't beat the suppression mission, which involves Mason, Alex Mason that is, then you can go into endgame zone 3 or 4 and kill 100 enemies with the war machine. So of course, the war machine is free to equip right there. And then for the vision pulse, if he doesn't beat the inside mission, then you can go ahead and kill 30 zone 3 or 4 enemies revealed by your pinpoint grenade. Lastly, we have Shadow Break, a very fun one. If you don't beat the breakpoint mission, then you can just earn 30,000 power with an endgame. Of course, you get power as you complete objectives and as you kill some of the tougher enemies. But as far as the minor abilities do go, you get instant access to grappling hook, kinetic jump, and even flicker, but there's 3 you don't get instant access to. So if you don't beat the fracture mission, then over an endgame, you have to complete 10 HVT assignments, of course marked on your TAC map. For supply link, you have to complete 10 activities in zone 3 or 4, unless you beat the escalation mission. And lastly, we have the Black Hat, returning from Black Ops 2. If you don't go ahead and beat the disruption mission of campaign, you have to get 500 critical kills while in endgame to use this ability. And then as far as I know, everything else here, of course, you're going to start from scratch with, regardless if you beat the campaign. You got to work through your skill tracks from the very start as you spawn into your very first match of the Avalon open world. Now, as of recording this video, there's about 12 hours left of the New Zealand early access before the game globally launches in North America. So until then, feel free to change your address on your Activision profile to trick your PlayStation into letting you play. If you're on Xbox, same deal, while you can also change your Xbox region to ensure that you can get in. But if you're somebody that didn't do the New Zealand trick, and let's say you're on Steam or Battle.net where the trick doesn't work, you can actually join a friend who's already in the game now, and you can trick your Battle.net or Steam into letting you play early. Also remember, you want to make sure you enable secure boot on your PC if that's the platform you're playing on. And if you guys are unaware as to how to enable secure boot, LagoFast also has you covered, which is today's sponsor. Now tonight's video is sponsored by LagoFast. If you're looking for a quick and free beta code, then look no further than the LagoFast Game Booster. LagoFast uses professional network optimization technology to help players minimize latency and improve FPS. Additionally, it offers VPN services which can get players into better lobbies as well. LagoFast also offers a mobile app in case you're optimizing a console, and even a separate application if you're on PC. Once you're in, click the redeem code button in the upper right corner and enter the redemption code DK to receive free LagoFast usage time, whether you're playing Endgame, multiplayer, Warzone, or even zombies. But to check out LagoFast, check out the special link down below in this video's description or the pinned comment, and thank you to LagoFast for sponsoring tonight's video. Now, as you guys may have already seen in the menu, there's a reward for completing each and every one of the 11 linear missions. There's plenty in Endgame as well, which we'll of course cover in a separate video, but for beating the very first mission, Exposure, you're gonna get this blueprint here for the M15. It's actually a pretty impressive looking skin, and you also get 5,000 XP for having unlocked that. You also get XP bonuses for beating every single mission, that is, but for the second one inside, you're gonna get the ratted out large decal. For mission 3, Distortion, you're gonna get the Phantom Weapon blueprint, which is for a sniper and is honestly pretty detailed. This is arguably the best set of campaign rewards that we've probably ever gotten in a brand new Call of Duty. And then for the Escalation mission, you're gonna get the animated sniper no sniping emblem, and of course that XP. For Disruption, you're gonna get the following emote called Lock in Shock. Pretty cool. Again, one of the better emotes in the game so far, and it's one that you probably would expect to see in a future bundle, but it's actually free to obtain. Next up, we have the Wing Clipper Weapon Charm for beating the Collapse campaign mission, as you'll see. You can, of course, equip it on any weapon of your choice. And next, for the Fracture mission, you're going to get the It's a Clap finishing move, which is also a pretty cool one. Again, one of the best free finishers that we've probably gotten in a modern COD title. And next up for Quarantine, you're going to get the Gilded Tower loading screen. You could, of course, equip in any game mode. Now, for the Suppression mission, you're going to get your hands on the Razor Fire Vertex blueprint for the Raiden SMG. Arguably one of the best looking free skins we've also gotten in a while. If it had tracers, it would be Chef's Kiss, but still a very nice look to the weapon itself, and pretty surprised we got this many blueprints in a single campaign alone. But then for the Breakpoint mission, you're going to get the Bot Buster Equipment skin, which you could of course equip over in multiplayer or zombies as well if you'd like. And last but certainly not least, for beating the Containment campaign mission, the finale, mission number 11, you're going to get the Grounded Operator skin for David Mason. On stream, I accidentally said that it looked like it was a skin for Harper, but no, it's actually for David, which of course makes even more sense, but that is the sole single free operator you can get from beating the entire campaign. Luckily, there are plenty of other free operator skins you can get by doing a very specific objective in Endgame, which we'll of course cover in a separate video. Now, I'm sure some of you guys out there were curious what the Mastery Camo coverage does look like on each of these free blueprints. So starting off with the co-op campaign, heading over to Mastery, I think I'm going to start grinding the co-op campaign camos before I even do multiplayer. Got some pretty good coverage across the board. I'd say for each game mode, the coverage is just about the same on each weapon, but the coverage will differ from mode to mode, as you guys can see. Got some pretty nice coverage there, and if only you could actually go ahead and apply the camo on your weapon before you even unlocked it, so you can at least test it in the firing range, that would be cool. But as far as the attachments, of course, up for debate, totally subject to change if you guys want to make this an even tougher build from what it already is. But also some footage of our brand new firing range here, as you can see here on the PS5. But there's the first blueprint. Go ahead and leave the firing range. Heading into our next one, we have the Razor Fire Vertex. Almost said Vortex for a second. But checking out our camo coverage with this beautiful looking skin, I'd say this blueprint is arguably the best as a part of the campaign reward set. And as far as Mastery camo coverage does go, it looks pretty damn sweet. That's campaign. Now we have multiplayer. At least that crystal that's etched on the side of the weapon is still fully visible. It doesn't actually change color with the camo. I mean, maybe some of you guys prefer if that was the case, but there's that second skin. And then we'll do a little shooting on our test dummies real quick. I'm not really a big fan of the Raiden, to be honest with you, so obviously the range is pretty tough. Kind of want a bigger magazine on this thing as well, but I think up close, this thing will definitely do you some good. And last but certainly not least, we have our good old Phantom. Let's actually test it out against dummies first. Sniping is so clean in this game, it's actually crazy, but a very nice looking blueprint. Again, go for those headshots, you'll be just fine, but even a body shot's gonna be fine in multiplayer as well. I'm sure they'll end up tweaking it in the long run. Exiting the firing range, checking out our camo coverage here, starting with co-op campaign. We, of course, have Molten Gold Then we have our more animated camos here in multiplayer. The camo coverage is okay. I mean, you can still see the leaves and the foliage all over the skin itself. So you still keep the overall look of the blueprint. Not really a fan of the masteries on this one, I'm not going to lie. I think the actual design of the blueprint far exceeds any coverage you'll get from any of the camos here. So yeah, you're not going to get much, but well, there's a good look at everything included here. And don't forget, if you head over into Universal, go to Promotional, the Guild Override camo is also available, which doesn't look that great on the sniper, but this is also a pre-order camo that you can apply today. But that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on every single campaign reward that we know of so far from the 11 missions? How are you feeling about the permanent abilities you also get for Endgame? Leave all your thoughts down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.